Hey guys, we're here with Daniel, who just went 6-3 at Toronto Regionals with Lightsworn Runick. Your last loss was Steven Santoli, the legend. So, anyways, how you liking Lightsworn for the moment?
Dude, so much fucking fun. Biggest reason I went X3, but let's get right into it. Alright, Runick deck, obviously, 2 fountain.
Riveting.
Boom. 3 tip, gotta give them the tip. 3 destruction, we always destroy them. 3 freezing because they're frozen from fear. 3 slumber because they're sleeping when we're done. Then 3 flash and fire because they don't even know what happened. 1 dispelling, 1 smiting storm.
How long have you prepared for this profile?
I was gonna say, yeah, named and everything.
Oh, bro, that was off the dome. That's why I didn't have anything for the one-offs. Well, cooking up a storm, I guess. Anyway, Runick cards, super standard. I like to play 17. If I could, I would play Golden Droplet, but the deck is so tight. Then, so, Lightsworn cards, I'm assuming everybody's familiar with. The best part about the deck, the Lightsworn aspects. So, for the supporting aspect of it all, 3 solar recharge, 3 charge. Now, charge, mills 3 for cost, adds any Lightsworn from deck to hand. Mill 3 Runicks, draw 3 are found, GG. Solar recharge, draw 2 Runicks, mill 2 Runicks, GG. Bro, these cards are broken, not once per turn. Shout out to old Yu-Gi-Oh cards, bro. Fucking love it. Then, 3 talents as the last spell cards of the deck. Talents, that's just the non-engine I decided to play. Really, it could be whatever you want it to be. Okay, moving on. Speaking of talent, the most talented card of the Lightsworns.
Oh my god.
Lightsworn Dragonrider right here, baby. This guy is fucking insane. This right here enables so many combos. I always like to use them for Dispatcher. We'll get into that later. This card just does everything. For those that don't know, have a name in grave, special him. As soon as he's special, dump a name. When he's sent to grave, add big baby dragon. I guess it's not a baby anymore. And and with this guy, just unlock so many synchro plays, rank 4s, really, really good. Then for the next 2 card is Weiss. It's like the Sheeran of the deck. You stack 1, mill the top 2, summon itself, and then obviously you're milling Wolf or Felice. So that's an instant body right there as well. These cards are really, really good. And what's so good is that they just facilitate more milling. And you want to just have your grave be as blue as possible because you're just drawing 3 off a fountain every time. And when you draw 4 times off fountain for 3, there's no way you lose.
Guess star, man.
Bro, the reason I'm X3 right there. And then, obviously, to support these cards, the OG Runicks, Wolf and Felice. Both of them have the same effect, sent to grave from deck, summon them, but this has to be sent by a monster. So it's a little more unfortunate when it comes to charge and recharge, but still, you know, they're really good. And also you can tribute it, pop a card, mill 3, it's just good utility. And then for the final 2 monsters I play Raiden, it's my normal summon essentially. It's just it's nice to have a tuner and at least a mills, so you either mill more Runicks, or maybe you hit a Felice or a Wolf, and that could be good as well. And then my final card is Zephyros. I think Zephyros is absolutely insane. You can bounce Fountain, trigger it again. The most broken thing is activate Fountain, tip search, draw 3, like fucking is broken. You can bounce Wolf or Felice that you milled. That makes your Weiss live, makes your Solar Recharge live. It's a free level 4 body from grave. Like, good discard for Hugin, it's a good mill. No, I don't think there's any reason not to play. This card was so good in this deck. So that's the main deck. It's 42 cards. If you want to make it 40, you can maybe cut either Zephyros or Raiden and a Talents and just have a 2 of engine slot, and it's just a clean 40. But I think it was really good as is. And then moving on to the extra deck, 2 Hugin, 2 Gary. I would play 3 and 3 of each if I could. Like, the Runick cards are just the best part about this deck. But you have a card to help you recycle them, so it's not too bad. And then, so that's it for the fusions. Then for synchros, Dispatcher, Chenying, Omega, Minerva, and then Coral and Stardust. So obviously any Runick synchro deck, you just play these. Most of the time I use Coral with my Dragon Link because it's a non-tuner dragon to go into the Dispatcher. And then I always try and go for Omega Loop with it to rip 2 cards out of their hand. And then what's really nice about Talents too is if you get hand trapped, not only do they lose a card from that hand trap, you Talents them, take another card out of their hand, then you Omega them for 2 more cards. So they have no cards really. It's really good. And if you don't dispatter, just summons an extender, make more plays, and then you can go into a Stardust line into Chen Ying. And Chen Ying in a Runick deck is just absolutely broken. Tip, Slumber, anything, even paired with SP. Like Chen Ying is just so insane. Like when they go Branded Fusion, you chain Tip with a Chen Ying on board, you're not losing that game. Even if you got Hand Trap. And then obviously, one of the synchros that tie it all together is the new Minerva card. This card on summon dumps Lightsworn names with different types up to the number of names used for its summon. So generally you'll send Weiss plus either Wolf or Felice, gets you 2 more bodies, replaces itself, banish 4, mill 4, that's how you make your Dispatter live. If you don't have the Omega route, it mills more Runicks or more Lightsworns. And that's the thing with this deck, anytime you mill, it's always good. Because you either have more Runicks for Fountain or you have more Lightsworns for Extension. The only bad mills are Charge and Recharge. That's it. Yeah, like this card's really good. And like I guess it's cool that it can protect from SP too, since it can be banished, but didn't really come up. So that's for the synchros. Then I played 1 Emerald, 1 Baguska, 1 Minerva, 1 Dugaris, 1 SP. Now, Minerva I was already iffy about. This card, like really, it's just more for nostalgia purposes. You can easily cut this. Like truly, like Dugaris is so much better. Draw 2, pitch 1, and it's nice to pitch when you have Zephyros in hand, or just cards that don't really do anything. It's just basically a free draw 2. And then Baguska is obviously Baguska. It's really good against Tenpai, good against Branded, and it's also just a good card to have on top of everything. Sometimes I would summon this even if I had Dispatter or some other monster interactions, because if you have this, plus SP with your Runick cards, it doesn't matter if you turn off your other cards, there's such a huge floodgate on top of your already present disruptions. Like, if they don't do anything, you end with like 5 set, 4 monsters, Fountain on board, 6 cards in hand because you have to discard for hand size limit. And even through hand traps, this is such a good backup plan as well. Like I got Drolled and like just floodgate hand trap, you make Baguska, they can't do anything and all your Runicks are still live and usable. Like it's really good, it just helps stall. It's like a slower Dugaris almost in those instances. But just having that floodgate aspect you can instantly access with how easy it is for 4 bodies is, like there's no reason not to play Baguska. And then Daigusto Emerald. This is how you recycle your Runick cards. There's an argument you can make where maybe play like a 50 card build or slightly lower with less engine pieces before Bestial Engine to have regain to recycle. But personally, I think Emerald was a lot better. It put you just want to have Garys and Hugins in your deck because after you combo, the way I play this deck at least is I just want to mill as much as I can, get all my Lightsworns out of the deck, and all I want to have are Runick cards. So that's why Emerald just puts back Garys to make sure you never lose the grind. Like I even played against pure Snake Eyes, 40-minute game 1 grind, and just deck them out. You know, because you just go second, you start playing. Runicks are just really good into interaction boards, and having Emerald to just keep that grind game going, I think is super important. And like truly, I even looked if this card was at 2, because just being able to constantly recycle is so important. And then obviously it's SP, baby. It's SP. There's a reason we pay all the money for SP. So that's the main and extra, like I said, 42-15, the usual. So, and then for the side deck, I played 5 hand traps. I played 3 Droll, 2 Magnamut. Droll was there, obviously no hand traps in main deck, so Droll was there for any deck that I was just scared of, that needed a blowout hand trap against. I didn't think Nib was enough on its own. But this, if they don't do like an FTK combo, I don't care what board they may, like I'm ready to play into it, as long as it's not stupid, you know? And that's what Joel's there for. And then Bestials, what's cool about Magnamut, it considers Dragon Link, so it's got that engine interaction. Having the level 6 non-tuner body is really huge as well. And then just into Branded and Voiceless, and these cards are really good to have as well. And the reason I played 2 Bestials, I thought it paired really well with 2 Droplet. For the Branded matchup, I have a good 5 cards. As long as I draw one of them, I'm feeling pretty good into Gimmick Puppet. As well as just the diversity of either one into either matchup, because with Runicks you're always drawing, so usually I'm always a 3-4 kind of guy, but with Runick it made a lot of sense to also have cards that are just good to draw into later on as well. Which, on that logic, I have 2 Cyclone as well, and this was meant for like Runick Mirrors, any back row decks. I didn't really play against any, so this didn't really come up, but I still played again in the future, and of course for those same decks, the 1 Harpies. And then I played 1 Aegis for going first. I really wanted to have this card for cards like Cyclone and Evenly, because any Runick deck you play, I think the Runick part of it is always going to be the strongest part. So with Baron gone, you always want to have some to protect your fountain. So I have this in here for that. And then alongside 3 Evenly, which with a Runick deck is really good. Just obviously you can't draw into it later on, you have to hard draw it, so that's why it's a 3 of. And then just having to pair this with Gary is just really strong. And then for the final card is Cowboy, because in a deck with no battle phase, gaining 1,000 attack is super important. So that's there for that.
Amazing. Well, thank you again so much for the deck profile.
Yeah, man.
Any shout outs?
Dude, shout out to the boys, man. Shout out to the boys, bro. Yeah, dude. Bro, shout out to boys. Bro, shout out to me for going X3. Yeah. Dude, and thank mwah. And then, dude, shout out to you, man, for giving me the deck profile, man. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.